You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Patriots and Petticoats, it is my pleasure to welcome you aboard Flight 1776 with service to the United States of America and continuing service to a more perfect union. Federal regulations require that carry-on items are stowed prior to closing the aircraft door. Your items may be placed in an overhead compartment or completely under the seat in front of you. Use caution when placing items in or removing them from the overhead compartment, and let us know if we may assist you. In order to expedite the boarding process, please be seated as quickly as possible after stowing your items and take a moment to review the Constitution and Declaration of Independence located on the device in your pocket. If you are unable or unwilling to perform the functions as described on those documents, please let us know and we will find a more suitable destination for you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to spending our evening with you. Sorry, that was a quick opening. I forgot to let it go all the way out to the end. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Patriots and Petticoats. We had a little bit of technical difficulty to start the show, but we are here now. And very exciting news for those of you who are tuning in on Twitter. I now have the live chat feature in the Twitter platform. So while you don't feed over here on this side, you do feed your chat in on Twitter itself. So that's exciting. I am very, very excited about that. Okay. Hi, Eric. Eric Handsome.
Yeah,
Eric,
the compliments are
you're
rolling
handsome
in
today.
already.
Look at that. So nice. Tex is such a nice guy. Such a loyal listener, too. He tunes in every week, and I am very thankful for that. I hope you are well also, Tex. I hope you're ready for Christmas. You've got a big holiday planned for you and your family and stuff. So, okay, we have a full show tonight. I have done my due diligence to make sure that we have a good show prepared. With that being said, I'm going to actually open up with a little bit of a debate subject for us.
Ooh, fun.
So, Congress had their big hearing on anti-Semitism in the universities and things like that, and they're kind of they're calling for people quitting, resignations. They're calling for resignations. They're calling for these organizations to be disbanded, and essentially we're getting to the point where they're getting ready to make anti-Semitism essentially illegal. You can't say from the river to the sea or what, that's hate speech or whatever. And I've been mulling this over for a while now, and I am very much not in favor of this. It feels very Patriot Act to me, where they use safety as a cause to take away more of our rights. So the Patriot Act took away our Fourth Amendment rights. They're null and void now. They don't exist anymore. And so starting to make certain speech illegal, I think we're treading into a territory where Congress, we're dealing with a uniparty, right? They just they want the power to control what we're able to say to one another. They need that power, regardless of which side of the spectrum you're on, right? Left, Jewish, Pakistani, whatever. Their goal is to control speech. And it's starting to feel very Orwellian that we're equating action with words. And so if I say to you, Chris, you should go kill that guy. That
But I'm
is
on it.
right. Okay.
What do we got?
My
We get
point
blood on the
is,
target tonight. What are we doing? Is this a
My-
briefing? Are we live? Let's probably not be live if we're going to brief this out.
right. My point is that is speech. That is not action.
Yeah.
That is not anyone taking action to harm someone from the
Yet.
river to the sea.
Oh,
Right? That is a term or phrase, and we understand what the underlying meaning of that phrase is. But that is not action. That is not a call to violence. Like, you're not telling anybody to kill anyone. Like, that's not what that is.
Well, it's
Saying
open to
go kill
interpretation.
Jews. That is a
It's a really sneaky way to say go kill Jews. But
yeah, Infinata. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's not illegal.
no,
Yeah,
but they
until
want
you
to
shoot
make
'em.
it illegal.
So this is what the deal is. This has been happening to our people, our community, for a lot of years. Now it's going to happen to that. Now they're going to be seeing how they're going to get canceled and get fucked over their speech, where we were 5 minutes ago for calling a dude, and a girl. Okay.
Right.
Right. All right. So now maybe at some point we can be like, look, we have a lot of fucking differences, but we don't have this. But this one similarity, we can get something done because we can see that this is an elite class trying to impose their will on a citizenry, right?
Right.
That's pretty obvious. And it depends on what side you're on if you're with it, right? So hey, Leah Thomas, you're a fucking dude. Well, now I'm hated by this group and I need to be canceled, pulled off YouTube, canceled from Twitter, gone. Now that same group over there is like from the river to the sea. Now you got to be gone, fucking kicked out of college, fucking your life's tore up. Now maybe we're both sitting out in the rain going, hey, wait a minute.
yeah.
Right.
So we can come together for a second and let's fix this. And then I'm going to put you against the wall.
Are they talking about putting you in jail for saying that?
Well,
there's-
it's not. They're going to
They're
make. They
flirting
will.
with
So
passing a bill that I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris. I didn't mean to.
she's right, because the difference is the elites don't mind if we argue over dicks and pussies. Okay. They think it's funny and we just keep ourselves busy down here. Now you're attacking half of the elite.
Yeah.
The Jewish people have done very well because the Jewish people understand education, community, and morals. All right.
Correct.
They understand those things. So they're now rich.
Yep.
And they were
Yeah.
getting slaughtered not very long ago. Like not very
No.
long ago. This is
Yeah, it
like this surpassed like slavery was a long time ago, and they
It
haven't
seems
figured
to be
out.
cyclical. Every 50 or 60 years, people come after them.
And let me just a second. But Jewish people aren't by nature just smart. They're morally smart. They're community sound, and they keep each other coming up. They hire each other. They all,
Yep.
you know what? They're a community, and that's
Why
what
don't
really
you marry a nice
humans-
Jewish girl and have kids, and and they can work at the business, and it's a sound structure,
But
and
they've
it breeds
accumulated.
success.
They've accumulated a lot of wealth in hedge funds. People like Bill Ackman. These guys are. I mean, they can crush you. So now that we've kind of seen that we're all up against the same force. I mean, now Republicans are piling on, right? Of course. Oh, cancel them, fucking kill them, fucking.
There's nothing easier than to pile on you.
But it's really a time to go, wait a minute. We can put our differences aside for a second.
Yeah.
And fuck all this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, this is our
anytime I see
opportunity
the
to say,
government-
see?
Yeah. It's like anytime I see them like rallying around a cause to pass legislation for public safety, That's when I start getting like
No.
insanely nervous because
Yeah, because they never care about our safety.
they do not care about us. Like that is not something that they're sitting there going, "Man, I wonder if this will benefit the American people." That isn't a conversation that goes through their head. The
Some,
conversation that goes through their head is how can we seize more power and capitalize on it for us?
And keep
but
it.
let's draw a line, because Heather's correct. That's exactly what they're saying. But who is saying that? Not all of our elected officials are saying that. Now, there's a whole bunch of bureaucrats up here saying it, feeding it to our elected official as a safety deal, and they're like, "Oh, this makes sense." Now, I don't know that I think that I don't think that I maybe I'm being naive. Maybe they're all in on it together, but I think a lot of it's unelected officials that is doing this.
Yeah, I
These
think
are
that's a huge
faceless,
part of it.
nameless.
Yeah.
We can't fire them. There's nothing we can do about it. And I think when it's presented, it as long as you have the right fear porn going on the interwebs, then you can present it correctly. Since they control the fear porn, it really works out well for them.
Yeah. The Okie homie says term limits for reps and staffers. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Why haven't we done that yet? That's something that we agree on across the board. A lot of these, not a lot of them, but enough people, I think, would agree to that we could get that through.
Yeah. 'Cause that's how
Yeah,
we get
but
it.
You
they
would
don't.
just see like what's the caucus of Gates and those guys?
Freedom
Is that
Caucus.
Freedom Caucus and the squad deal. That's stuff that they could work together on. We share some similarities, or at least they virtue signal like they share some similarities with
Right.
us. But some of them they do. And I don't know why we can't. Let's shove that shit through. We don't even have to argue about it.
Yeah.
And a big one would be like smashing the Patriot Act.
Right now, the FISA warrants have been flirted as coming back up, and they've enhanced them to where now, you know what? We don't even need warrants.
The problem with the FISA that we're never gonna get that is because there's enough fucking nameless, faceless people saying, "Listen, if you touch this, your fucking family's never gonna live." I'm sure it's pretty fucking dirty. It's not like they're doing Trump pretty dirty, and he wasn't really even, he was fucking pretty moderate. He bucked him a little bit, and he'd said some shit, but he ain't like come in there with a chainsaw. He didn't go all fucking Argentina on him. And I think they set these motherfuckers down, and they're like, "Here's the deal, motherfucker. Your fucking daughter is going to live, but the pain she's going to feel every day. We're going to kill her and bring her back, and kill her and bring her back. Like all of your worst nightmares, whatever. I'm sure they have dirt on all of us. They could fucking make our worst nightmares come true."
Yep.
But that's the problem with our bureaucracy. Who's got the fucking balls to say, "Do it, motherfucker"? Fuck you. Who's going to sacrifice their lambs?
Tech says, "Yep, folks in Congress have skeletons in closet to blackmail from, and
Yeah,
they're all
they make
blackmailing
sure.
each other. It's like
They
don't
make
do
sure on the
anything."
way up that they get blood on them.
Yep.
I was listening to something the other day because now we're seeing our homegirl Hillary jump in this shit. Like all of a sudden
I
she's
haven't seen
revived.
that.
She's risen from the grave of fucking the Clinton hell, and they're like, "Oh, she's gonna raise so much money," and it was on Tim Pool. They were like, "Who would?" Like she has the entire, like she is the Epstein client list. Like it's up here. Like she can raise money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, her
What's
husband
Toxic
was a
saying?
regular.
Absolutely, they did.
Rudy said
I'm
the
surprised-
CIA murked JFK. They'll do it again.
The only reason why they're putting Donald Trump through this whole fucking dog and pony show is to keep the fucking press going and make Republicans look bad. They could murk it. Why haven't they shot this dude yet? This is 32. This is a 55-cent round that we're talking about, and they could have this done.
Right. So, do you guys think there's a line in speech? Do you think like, okay,
Oh,
this is not allowed. You should not be able to say this. You do?
yeah.
What do you think the
Mm-hmm.
line is?
I don't think there is one federally. I don't think there is one state, but I have a fucking line if you talk to my family. If that's what you're asking, I
Uh,
think there's no laws.
I'm
I have
talking
my own.
government, like
I
actual
have
First Amendment.
oh
Is there a
no,
line
none,
where the
no,
government should be able to say you're not allowed to say that, Chris?
no. And then they also need to leave us alone because if I need to knock somebody on his ass, I don't want to get in trouble. That's how we can police each other out here.
Yeah.
But no, the government has no business in that. We will police it out here.
What about you, Eric?
Yeah, other than like fire in a movie theater, something that's going to cause a panic that gets people trampled, speak your mind. But
I don't even give a fuck about that.
I mean,
Like,
that was
because if
ruled
somebody yells
constitutional.
fire, I can go. If it's dark, I'll see
But-
fire.
yeah, I mean, if you have an Ivy League school and they ask you, does calling for the genocide of a people fall under your bullying and harassment policy? And they say, well, it depends on the context. Then someone else needs your job.
So I want to make sure that I understood the question, Heather. You were talking about from a law, from a
Yes.
government standpoint, not like a college or
Yeah,
a private
not like
or
policy.
my fucking corporation can do what they want to do. And then
If
or you
that
can go work
college
for
accepts
or you can
state
go work for a
funds,
different. Yeah, but
then
what's
they
that?
are a government entity as far as I'm concerned, and they have no right or authority to put limitations on speech.
Right, as far as you're concerned, but
Yeah.
what is it actually concerned? Like in reality. They're a
Right,
private
I mean,
they're a private college, right?
no.
That's reality. Harvard?
Oh, yes. I apologize. But they accept
Penn-
federal funds.
Because we have fucking knucklehead senators. That's why, because we give it to them.
Right.
Well, that's on us as
Yeah.
a citizenry. We've never stopped it. So
Okay,
but they're
so
still
let's go to this whole college. The government is specifically forbidden from restricting speech. Yes.
I thought that was a thing, actually.
Yeah.
It is, but there are a lot of people right now advocating.
Oh,
and
very
that's what
rich
worries
people.
me is they're
very
using
rich people.
yeah, they're using emotionally charged for your safety language
Mhm.
to try
They've
to
gotten-
ratchet control away in this.
They've gotten very good at making us think it was our idea. Like Target is not
Yeah.
letting kids in. You have to be with an adult and everything's behind cases. They're going to have us begging for a social credit system because it won't be me. It won't be me who can't buy food.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
just give me the convenience back.
Eric, you had mentioned, let me put this where we can talk to each other. Okay. You had mentioned they were predicting how many millions?
They figure that she has cost them about $1 billion in donor money so far.
$1 billion. That's fucking crazy. So,
Is that a lot of money, Heather?
well,
It
in
sounds
today's
like a lot of
terminology,
money,
no, not
but
really.
It sounds like a lot of money.
That's a lot of money coming specifically from the donor class. So
if I lost my company $1 billion, I probably wouldn't have a job.
And the board has pledged their unanimous support for her, which blows my mind.
So let's just go over this real fast. So it has been found out that her entire PhD dissertation pretty much is plagiarized. Like the whole thing.
I am shocked.
The president of Harvard. Like we're not just this elite.
No. Yeah, but this is a diversity hire, remember.
I understand that.
Okay.
But
so you can't say that.
How do you hold your students to any standard at this point? At all. Like
without being a hypocrite. You can do it, but it's very Democrat of you.
They really infiltrated and took down a 500-year-old university.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy. Like Harvard has fallen. This is insane.
Yeah.
It was always the definition of Ivy League top-notch school.
What did Mr. Portnoy say about it? He said he would.
He said,
yeah, go ahead.
He'll never hire another Harvard grad again. is what he said.
He said that diploma's worthless.
Yep.
And it is. Like,
It
that's the
is.
thing. Like,
She
you have
killed that
just
diploma.
one
That
person
lady.
has completely diminished the paper value of anyone who graduated from Harvard's
Yeah.
degree.
Yeah.
Man.
Pretty. I think they should sue her into oblivion.
How
And
pissed
the
are the alumni?
university is defending her. They're allowing
Yeah.
her to
And
keep
well,
her
really,
job.
can I say something though?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's not all her fault because they gave her that job. Like they could have said no.
Yeah. And then what?
Oh, huh?
And then what?
And then what?
You
do you
tell her no. She can't
Yeah,
have the
when-
job.
when-
She's not qualified.
Or
Then
whatever.
what?
I'm sure there was a process, right? I'm sure there was more than one applicant.
Yeah, and I'm sure the words racism would have come out in huge blinking red light letters.
And that,
Yeah.
but that's okay because if you're Harvard and you're just holding to your standard's your standard. And if
Yeah.
if Harvard holds to that standard, guess who else does? The next one, and then the next one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if one
I
breaks,
don't
they all
disagree
break.
with you.
So,
It should have happened.
so no, it shouldn't have. This is what happens when the adults start letting or the children run the house. Kind of. I mean, it's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better way to say that, Heather. You're way better at words than I am. But is this not the inmates taking it over? Like what? They don't like something, they go out there and chant, and then
This
they change
all
it?
this all started at Evergreen College when the kids chased
Yes.
down Eric
With
Weinstein.
Weinstein,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they made demands, and their demands were met. And after that, we started caving to all these college kids, and here we are. It was
Here we are.
such an obvious slippery slope.
Yeah, but boy, it went a lot deeper than what I think a lot of America believed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to go through some of these chats real fast.
And Andrew's in the house.
Yeah.
Andrew said there was also a newspaper who knew about this, and Harvard put the press down on them so they would stay quiet. I am not surprised by
Ooh.
that. Portnoy has a
I gotta
shirt
have that shirt.
with
I need
her
that
on
shirt.
it with a clown nose. Gotta go buy that.
Yeah.
That's fucking great. She's a red herring.
How so?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I would love to
Rudy?
explore that thought.
I wish Rudy would come on.
Most
really
big
do.
companies nowadays are hiring just people of diversity. The correct people for the job are no longer being hired. It is no longer a meritocracy. You are 100%
No.
correct. Your qualifications do not matter. You are merely hired based off of what box you check for that particular field. Harvard cannot fire
hey,
her
will you
without
send
facing
Rudy
immense backlash.
Will you send Rudy a link?
Sure.
Thank you, Heather.
You fire based off of how you hire. Okay, hang on a second.
We don't have enough Okies in here. One more. We always got room for an Okie.
Yep. Plagiarized her entire PhD dissertation. Nice.
Nice. That hey Eric, don't you wish you would have pulled that off?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why didn't I
that's
think
next
of that?
level, bro.
Click the link to show the shirt. I don't have that link.
He'll probably send it.
He'd probably
Okay.
put it in there.
Throw it up in there, Andrew, and then I'll bring it up. Okay. So, next up, controversial things to discuss. Speaking of like giving away authority, giving away power, the World Health Order is now calling on countries to increase taxes on alcohol and sugary sweetened beverages. So
Very New
now
York of them.
we're in a situation where the World Health Order is telling our government you need it, and not just increase taxes, but let's talk about some of the percentages that they're talking. 50% increase tax on alcohol.
I mean, that's inflation numbers. They're facing inflation too, Heather.
That's
Yep.
nearly set. So over 50 years, that's $17 trillion. And they put in additional revenues. That's not revenue. That's theft. That's fucking
theft.
robbery.
It's straight up theft.
$17 trillion in theft. But this is the thing, right? So COVID gave these health agencies
Mm-hmm.
this idea and notion that they just have the ability to be like, well, we think that you guys are drinking a little too much, so you need to tax your people 50% more. And it's not like I'm some big like boozer. I don't even really drink. But fuck you for like, what are we gonna go back to
Get out of my
prohibition?
pocket.
Yeah, we will.
They're pricing us
You'll have-
out of the beer market, Heather.
You'll have people making their own a lot more, and then they'll come after them.
Rudy,
What's up? Can y'all hear me?
what's up, homie?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I got you.
We can hear you, Rudy.
Is it too loud, too soft?
It's
No,
a
you're
little
perfect.
too soft.
Give
What
her
about
some
now?
game. That's it.
Perfect.
That's
Cool.
some money.
Okay.
Hey, what do you think about paying 15% more on your beer for taxes there?
And with
Sounds
this
good,
Tito
right?
sign in the background.
I mean, I've got the Tito's, I've got the real ale, I've got it all. Yeah, no, fuck you, Joe Biden.
Fuck you, Joe Biden. I love it.
Andrew it says he put the link in here. He didn't. I'm gonna go try to find it because it's not showing in the chat for some reason. So you guys talk about tax increase on beer while I go find this real fast.
Well, wait, let's go back to Harvard. You were making good points.
Oh yeah, Rudy, what were
What's
you
the
saying
red
about
herring?
a red herring?
She's a red herring because Harvard didn't break overnight. This has been a long time coming. I mean, how many Harvard quote unquote protests have been happening over the last 5, 10, 15 years that are based on identity politics or based on someone's skin color or something like that?
Harvard is where the Halloween thing started, wasn't it? With all the offensive costumes and the restrictions on costumes.
Most of what we're talking about nationally started at Harvard. That's the whole thing. And so you go out and you get this DEI hire who checks a bunch of boxes, and knowing you can't really fire her, much like Corinne Jean-Pierre, you can't really fire them because they're not qualified for the job they have based on merit. So you're hiring them based on other characteristics. So if you fire Corinne Jean-Pierre, or if you fire, what was it, President Gay or whatever her title is, you're firing her because she's black or she's lesbian or both or whatever.
But that's why you hired her. So
that's my whole point. So you can't.
I got you now.
When you fire them, you're firing them based on you hired them off of skin color and box checking. You didn't hire them because they were the best in their field. They were the greatest person. They really took this other university no one ever heard of and took them to bigger heights or something like that. And so when you go and you try to, she's a red herring because now we all jump on it. We all do the clickbait of like, oh my God, she plagiarized this. Oh my God, she did this. Oh my God, I can't believe she said that. Well, wait for the race card to really get played hard, and it's coming because they're not going to be able to get rid of her. They forced out the chick at Penn who was what color? White. So she probably actually had a pedigree of on paper that said she was qualified for the job, but she's the only one that's been forced out. That's not a coincidence. So that's why it's the red herring. You jump all over this, and you're not wrong necessarily because it is awful, but they knew what they were doing when they installed her. It's that simple. It's also why Joe Biden doesn't. Well, one, Joe Biden really can't take questions. But if he were to go up there, well, you can legitimately, everyone on planet Earth can legitimately criticize him because he's just a straight white male who's old. But when you have, Corinne Jean-Pierre, you can just get called racist and everybody shuts up.
Pretty smart.
But
careful. You keep calling me smart and I'll keep talking.
But so now what we've done is we've let a bunch of children ruin our fucking living room.
Mm-hmm.
We've weaponized the kids.
And they have done, I mean, my God. So tell me this, is this the same groups, the same kids that were protesting uh transgender, all this stuff? Oh, I love that.
Oh,
Hamas
that's
University.
awesome. Holy shit.
Is that Dave Portnoy? Did he do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
That's
so he
fucking
did the
awesome.
Hamas University, the ISIS of the East, and then he also did the one with her big fucking clown nose.
That's legit.
Oh, that's great.
And that's why they make the big bucks.
Well, and he said, he was like, I'm not really selling these shirts, which is stupid. Like,
Oh.
he totally should.
Well, then look, we are.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
So the same guys into this, to the whole transgender and stuff, have they just switched over to this now? I understand that they're different groups, but the kids that go out and chant, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not making sense to me because
I-
all this doesn't coincide. It doesn't go together in reality. Transgender LGBTQ plus IA does not go with Hamas or River of the Sea. These don't work. Like, this doesn't make
No.
sense. I can't get my whole head wrapped around it. The only thing that I can justify that with is these kids are fucking stupid.
Well, look no further than Gays for Palestine, and you'll see the intelligence level and how just aware they are of what these groups even believe.
So
Right.
FYI, Andrew said he is selling them.
Sorry.
They're on the store website. So I
Nice.
stand corrected.
$30. Yes, I will be getting that.
He should make about 30
I
million.
feel
on
like I
that.
need to raise the
He's
price
probably
of my
not selling the
t-shirts on my
Harvard
site.
one.
Yeah.
He's probably not selling the Harvard one, but I bet he's selling the clown nose. Oh, yeah, he just sent us the link. So thanks, brother.
Nice.
What do you
Andrew's
think
the
about
best.
that, Heather? About, like, is this a completely different mass group of people shouting from the river to the sea, or are they the same ones that were shouting about pronouns 5 minutes ago?
I think
They
that
were the
they're
same.
all.
I
I think that
can't breathe, kids.
there's an activist class of individuals where they leech on and they latch on to whatever cause. So I do believe it's the same
The
group
newest?
of individuals. Yeah,
Are they
I
the new
think it's the Black
deadheads?
Lives Matter. Eric, you had mentioned in our chat the riots of 2020. Like, what was there to gain? What came of that? Like,
Yeah.
you chanted
because-
Black Lives Matter. You destroyed fucking cities left and right. What do you have to show for it? Like,
what policies have changed?
Yeah.
What? Because they say that's the growing pains, like this, like the civil rights movement. You know, these things had to happen so that change could occur. And like, what's better? What did
Yeah.
you do?
I'll tell you what's
we need
better
to give
is
them room. Remember,
Donald
we needed to give
Trump's
them room
black
to
numbers
express
are better.
themselves. Yeah. Oh yeah. I see N-words for Trump t-shirts. Like the hood is broke too, and they're tired of this as well.
So that I have a clip for that. Not intentionally.
I have a clip for that.
I got something for you there. Hold on, let me find it.
Heather, I have not done many of these shows at my house.
I know.
You're back in
Back-
Minnesota, you're really committed to the bit.
Good job.
Ooh. Trying to think of which direction I want to go in first. So, okay, I'm not going to do that one. Never mind. Just kidding. I was lying, but not on purpose. I am going to do this though. Okay. So Vivek Ramaswamy, we haven't had a chance to talk since the last debate because I
No,
got COVID.
we have
last
not.
week.
Yep.
I heard he went to pee with the microphone still
He
on.
did pee on his spaces. He forgot to mute his mic, and he has a pee tape out there. And
Shoot, that'll get you elected quick. So you
no,
probably
I
won't
will
vote.
say,
to
like,
get
the
elected
really
president
funny
after you
thing
do
is
that.
after he got called out about it, he was like, well, they did say it was a live stream. And so, like, he did a good job of, like, playing it off or whatever. But he got Nikki Haley bad in this debate.
Yeah.
So I'm going
And
to
he
play
was
this
right.
clip real fast for you guys because this kind of tees up what I want to talk about.
One thing about the tie to Ukraine, if I may. So foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to note that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to
Look at
understand.
the
These people
panic.
have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the
she
names of
just
those
went
provinces are, but
blank.
she wants
Look
to
at
send
look,
our
you
sons
can
and
even
daughters
see
and our
like she's
troops
chewing
and
the
our
inside of
military
her
equipment to
lip.
go
She's
fight it.
looking in the
So
fucking
reject this
back
myth
of her
that they've been
eyeballs.
selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after,
A cup
has
of
real
coffee
foreign
stint.
policy
That was
experience.
good.
It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually fight for. And there's her puppet masters right there, the donors right there that are playing her like the puppet master.
And then Chris Christie has to come in and fucking save her at that point, right?
Her only saving face when Chris Christie butted in, when if she would have looked at him and said, "I got this," and if she could have said the provinces, maybe.
Well, she did. You missed
but she didn't do it right.
She didn't.
No,
and she didn't
she
name
missed
them
it.
correctly.
She missed it.
Yeah.
She missed her spot. Somebody put it in her ear. Obviously, she has an earpiece in.
Yeah.
Because she mispronounced it, so she didn't know what it was.
Because she couldn't hear. She couldn't hear what they were telling her.
But she should have stopped Christie and played the strong woman spot right and hit it right there. But
yeah,
that's
I mean,
the deal.
last time her heels were her ammunition. So where was that Nikki Haley this time?
Trump is really fucking good at that. The one-liners, the shut him down, the fucking spit, just the quick-witted. You can't catch him off. And the only reason why Joe Biden can beat him or even stand there in a debate is because nobody's in Joe's head. And you can't get in there. He ain't in there. That's the reason why you can stand. Anybody else, he will get in your head. And that was her moment to shut him down and bust his. And she could have took him out of the.
It was a huge risk on his part. Like she could have.
Absolutely
if she could have
was.
named those, he would have been incredibly embarrassed.
She's a fucking defense contractor. She should name those.
Yeah.
She's selling shit right now to them.
Right. So here's a really interesting clip that came out of this, though, that oh man, you guys, I laughed so fucking hard when I watched this.
Smug, condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous because he won't stop Trump, but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
But the good thing, Van, you could.
Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
What? Over what he said to Haley?
Yes.
Like his entire
all
debate performance.
Because he doesn't like the CIA. That's why.
What?
And I was just I laughed so hard when I was literally shaking. Like what? No, you weren't. You fucking idiot.
We've seen him fake cry on camera over Trump.
The DTs maybe you needed another drink. That's why you were shaking. But please don't tell me that Vivek Ramaswamy on the debate stage made you shake at home. You fucking pussy.
His wife probably wouldn't let him have a drink.
Text Ranger says now the police have been defunded and police are afraid to do their jobs. That is an accomplishment that Black Lives Matter had. Yep. That's the result.
Hey, they killed more black people. Good for them.
All you have to do is look at Austin, Texas. Andrew says Shane Gillis said it best. Biden is Trump's kryptonite because no one can get into Joe's head. Joe's not.
That's exactly where I heard that.
Van Jones is hyperbolic and a wuss. You're so much nicer than I am, Tex.
It is funny that Van Jones in a couple of sentences completely destroys the strong black man argument.
Yeah.
Which is just who like champions that? Like, it is the most racist thing for CNN to put Van Jones up there, this very weak, obviously weak, but very put together in his physical appearance, and speaks well, even though he says a bunch of nonsense. And he gets up there and he's supposed to be what, representative of Black America, or he's supposed to be representative of Black men. Like, it's one of the things that Jason Whitlock talks about all the time. And I'm not the biggest Jason Whitlock fan, but him and some others in his orbit, Black males, talk about the dimming down of the Black man. And it's just a perpetuation of what's happening in the communities. They show this in the national spotlight, and then they put this giant puss up there who says, I was literally shaking, and he's about on the verge of tears over a fucking spindly, like, Indian dude saying what? I just don't understand. And like, what is Vivek gonna do? I mean, he's calling out another Indian person. Indian descent person. It's just like, what the? Neither of these people are going to be president. Neither of these people will have really any impact over your life. They might end up in some sort of administration, but to call Vivek some sort of Nazi propagandist, it's just like, he ruined Black men apparently and made them look weak. And he is also perpetuating the Nazi not meaning anything. To look back in history and what Nazi really meant and what they represented and the things that they did, it takes it down to a zero, which is absolutely horrific. And you could maybe even draw the line that it's anti-Semitic to do that in kind of in the culture we're in right now.
Yes.
Yeah. You're minimizing. They love to say you're minimizing. That's exactly what you're doing. It's a false equation.
Yeah, on the one hand, you would minimize they would probably say we're going to minimize the president of Harvard because she's Black, and that's why we're doing it. But then they'll talk about how Vivek's a Nazi. Like, it's just so insane.
And it's ridiculous to CNN's even covering the fucking NAIA of fucking
because he
election.
said,
Good call.
I mean, this is because what's that, Eric?
I think he called him a Nazi because he said the Ukraine war is, in his opinion, pointless. But Ukraine is the country where the Nazis are. Like, that's who we're sending the money and the weapons to. I don't know if most taxpayers know that, but there's actual Nazis over there in Ukraine receiving our funds and weapons.
There is an American being held hostage in Ukraine right now for speaking out against Zelensky, and has been for months, and we just gave them more fucking money.
He's shutting down churches.
Sick.
He's going
He
after
shut down his own election.
Oh, I got a video for that.
He shut down his own election.
Yeah.
There's nothing else he's going to shut down.
Everything
real
he's
quick,
doing is un-American.
Andrew says, whatever happened to sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Democrats happened to that sentence.
They said words are sticks and stones. Yes. And we believe them.
Not according to Cory Bush recently.
Okay. So Brett, I think his name is Brett Baer, on Fox News had Zelensky on after. So this is post America giving them more fucking money. So I'm kind of playing these in reverse, but I'm going to show this really fast.
Mr. President, there are critics who say that you've tried to consolidate power. Headlines that the Orthodox leader in Kyiv under house arrest, that you consolidated Ukraine's TV outlets, that you ruled out holding elections next spring, calling for unity. But then the mayor of Kyiv says that you're turning it into an authoritarian state. How do you deal with that criticism? What do you say to critics who are saying that?
I say such person from government or mayors think about the war, think about how to defend our people. Don't travel through the world each day. Travel to the front line. Ask people, ask soldiers what they need. Do this. Not build roads for today. Don't do it. Spend all your money to the weapon, to the drones, to the society, to the pensions, and etc. And don't cry, because
hate
you are
this guy
leaders,
so much.
and that's it. That's why we are, and that's why we stay. Because mostly people are not crying. People stay and fight against Putin, and we don't have any enemies in our country. We can't have time for this, and we don't have it. We have only one enemy. This is Putin, and that's it.
But you'll stand from democracy going
Yes,
forward.
of course, and of course, because we are really defending democracy, and we are really defending freedom.
Thanks for stopping in, Andrew. I appreciate you coming by. We'll see you next week. Okay.
I hope
So he
Putin
doesn't
kills
ever
Zelensky with
answer
his
any
bare
of the
hands.
questions regarding the decisions that he's made with regards to Ukraine and how totalitarian those decisions
He
have
didn't
been.
spend 1 second answering to that.
Not even a little bit. And Brett doesn't push him. He does not push him at all. He doesn't force him to answer the question. He says nothing about that. He's like, you don't travel through our country. We have no enemies here, but we need billions of your fucking dollars.
It was an emotional argument from the get-go from Zelensky. It was just pure emotion.
Liberty Twitcher says, what is this stream about? Is it a good one? We like to think it's a good one. Hang around for the next, we got about another 35, 40 minutes left. Please hang by.
I'm here.
Just to give you kind of an idea of what our show is like or what it's about, it's political, but we are not right. We are not left. We bring everyone into the equation and shit on all of them because they have no problem shitting on us. So it's kind of where we're at this point. But you are welcome to join us. I would love to have you as someone new.
When
Get
the
in the
dollar
comments.
collapses, meet us here.
Do I support Hamas, though?
No.
No, we openly condemn them.
We support their destruction.
I'm into them Hamas supporters. Okay,
No.
we're not Hamas supporters. We're not.
No,
We're not going to cheer on terrorists on this show.
you're gonna fit right in.
That's what she said.
So real quick, I want to talk about this. And I think Chris is gonna come in.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure where he is, but so this
Cool.
popped up.
Elementary.
An elementary after-school Satan club coming
Is
to
this the new tranny thing? We're gonna do Satan now.
Tennessee. I didn't say it either. So the Satanic Temple posted this flyer, and I suck about making these big enough where I can actually read them while the show is on. But it says the Satanic Temple is a non-theistic religion that views Satan as a literary figure who represents metaphorical construct of rejecting tyranny and championing the human mind and spirit. So apparently you can just throw a bunch of fucking words together
Yep.
and say, now this is about the devil, but that's not what it's really about.
Did Kamala Harris write that?
Yeah. Speech team. But okay. Here's the thing. What's interesting though is how that Satan thing doesn't even alarm us anymore. So much craziness nowadays that Satan ain't nothing compared to the true craziness going on. That is a very, very valid point. Like this is number one, just being started. And number two, it's being thrown out there. And I'm sitting here joking and laughing about it, but you're right, Liberty. Like, that's ridiculous that we have become so desensitized to something like this that we're just like, oh, look how fucking stupid this is. And not thinking about like the larger ramifications. So my question to you guys is, number one, do you think that this is an organization? I mean, it's a club that looks to be after school club in an elementary school. And It's sponsored by the Satanic Temple and Reason Alliance. Now, they do have a disclaimer under here. It says this activity is not endorsed or sponsored by Memphis Shelby County Schools. So my question is, who's sponsored? Like who, if it's at the school library, isn't that like partly in part by the school? Like, and
Yeah.
so let's take this a step further. How do we think in today's society, like a Christianity or Catholic after school club would be treated, being held on school grounds?
Bro, you got to really pay attention to your kids in 2023, man. God bless.
Yeah.
They're coming at every angle.
Yeah, I mean,
is
at
insanity.
this flyer, like this would be fairly innocuous if you didn't like really read what it's saying.
How come communities aren't policing this? Like, who's going over there and dragging this motherfucker out of his house and just kicking the shit out of him and saying, "Yeah, we're not doing that here, homie."
Well, and I think so. Okay, so here's where I come in with this, and I wonder: do you allow things like this to exist? Because I think you do. And the free market will decide who's going to take their little children in elementary school to an event like this. Probably not very many people.
Well, how many families are raising their kids nowadays? 20% of America are raising their kids. What is it now? It's probably pretty low. Feels like.
Yeah.
It's those kids that they're after. Okay.
Right. Grown men who feel they are women are allowed to follow young girls into restrooms at Target, and that doesn't bother anyone. So kids at a Satan club ain't nothing no more.
No, it's true. I mean, go ahead, Rudy.
Sorry, I would.
No, you're good.
As a non-religious person, kind of indifferent to the whole thing, but not anti either. I think it kind of needs to be pointed out that if you're having a after-school Satan club or any sort of Satan club or satanic temple, that also means that they're based on just having that also means that there is a God, and they have to acknowledge that, because you don't have Satan without God, because you have good, evil, you have left, right, you have, right, wrong, however you want to look at it. And it's the funniest thing when you have all of these jackasses like this, like, I'm a Satanist, I'm this, and we praise the altar of Anton LaVey and all that nonsense. And the modern day atheists who have atheist churches, it's like, you only exist because religion exists. And so you've created this just parallel religion, which only exists because of the thing you supposedly hate and you say doesn't exist. It is kind of a weird like duality there that they can never ever explain. And it's one of the funniest things I do on Twitter is to go after some of the atheists who post the nonsense on some religious posts. And it's like, you only exist because, Catholicism, Christianity, Judaism exist, and they never ever have a rebuttal other than to block me, which is fine. And the Satanists are the same thing. And I think part of the wording of their flyer, I guess that was to get around the whole school thing. But
they didn't. It's on school property.
Well, it to not be religious. And so to kind of get around that is what I meant. It's all in the verbiage and the wording. But I'm with you, Heather. Like, I would much rather kids go towards the Christianity side than to the satanic side. But you're in the same kind of ballpark at the same time. Like, the Satanists will open themselves up to the kids going towards the God Jesus side, because you have to acknowledge it if you're acknowledging Satan. And it's going to be kind of just a natural question of a kid going into the Satanist club or whatever the hell these losers are actually hosting. They're going to have to, at some point you have to acknowledge the existence of God and Jesus and those things. And so once they get in there and realize they're just around a bunch of like 45-year-old fucking losers, they're probably going to go the other direction. And especially if the parents are in their lives, and being exposed to these ideas is not necessarily a bad thing. It was just like age appropriate, but like it just, if you just go in there as a hammer, treating everything as a nail and just saying this is stupid and God is the only light and all of this, I think you almost kind of push the kid kind of the other way. You'll push some kids the other way going, well, what is this other thing? And you almost kind of push them into it a little deeper. But I don't know. Satanists are just fucking losers. And anyone who's ever been around them, I don't know if you guys have or talked to them.
No.
They are fucking losers.
It's fucking great. I'm less worried about Satan clubs in schools than I am with the new math that allows wrong answers to be accepted if the student's life experiences are such that the wrong answers are somehow okay.
Hey, that's a good
2 + 2 equals duck.
Okay, really quick. So we've got some chats over on Twitter. Argento says, "Marry me, Heather." You're fucking crazy.
Was that a no?
Casey says, "Van Jones."
Yeah, I mean,
could
can we just
fold
not get a
the
definitive
feet and
answer
put
here?
him in his pocket like a wallet. Uncle Pudge says, yo, what up, guys? This is gross. Why do people suck? And then there's no Venn diagram, so Kamala didn't do it. So this is back on the stage a while ago.
But was there an electric bus?
It doesn't make sense.
Was there the passage of time? Did time pass during that? Can they have Bible study at the same school? Take your kids out of school, defund teachers.
Yes.
I think the moral families run them off. Mr. Xavier says Satanists feign compassion to draw in new recruits. It's very true. It's scary and
hold on.
Mysterious.
The three of you have never met a Satanist, is that correct?
No.
Me personally, I've met
not
a
that I
Satanist
know.
before.
I don't. Maybe I have. But
Well, that's my point.
think I
Like, have you ever met a gay person?
Yes.
Like, I mean, so this whole Satan thing, like he's never gotten traction, even with the Anton LaVey and his movement of like the 80s and writing books and actually becoming some sort of like a minor celebrity, because they're all just fucking losers. I just want to reiterate they're losers.
Just want to say it one more time.
You really can't say it enough.
I'm more concerned.
Now
with
I'm
kids
gonna have a
being taught-
preconceived notion, Rudy. If I ever do meet one, I'm gonna be like, "Well, you're a fucking loser." So
They'll prove it in the first like 2 minutes. Don't worry.
Gender's a choice when it really isn't.
That's true.
Yeah. Liberty Twitcher, I think you're gonna fit in really nicely here.
Liberty Cat's pretty legit.
Okay. So let's go back to this Zelensky situation and the money that we just gave to
Oh,
Ukraine.
for fuck's sake, dude! I just can't with this motherfucker.
Do you don't want me to show these videos?
No, go ahead. Yeah, no.
So
Sorry.
cereal
I
gonna
was
be
being
$12 now?
Okay, so prior to Zelensky getting here, Biden threatens, if you don't give him the money, I'm going to put troops in Ukraine, is essentially what he says. So here's
Because
that clip.
if Biden doesn't give him the
Committed
money,
as a NATO member that we defend every inch of NATO territory. Then we'll have something that we don't seek and that we don't have today. American troops fighting Russian troops. American troops fighting Russian troops if he moves into other parts of NATO.
Boy, he doesn't know.
How
where to
about
look. He's
this?
all fucked up.
How about Ukraine shouldn't be a NATO country, and this isn't something that even should be an argument?
Shouldn't be a
They're
NATO country.
crooked as the day is long. They don't belong in NATO.
Shouldn't be an argument, but they are. It is. And
Yeah.
it's not even that Ukraine is NATO, it's that he might go into a NATO country after Ukraine. So we may need to send troops before then.
I hope he does. At this point, I hope he takes over the whole fucking world. I don't care
Jesus
anymore.
Christ. Jesus Christ. All right, no, we're not advocating for
Okay,
fucking Russia.
Eric.
Wow.
Hold
Fuck
on.
me,
Bro.
man.
Dial it back. Dial it back, bro.
Come down a notch, bro. I like my guns. So
Can we just have a
We're gonna keep it
UFC
that
match
way.
between Zelensky and Putin to the death and call that the
You're
conflict?
really good. I could go.
can we
I
do
could
it in
get
the
down with
Spear in fucking Vegas? I heard they're going bankrupt. U2 isn't cutting it. Zelensky, Putin would absolutely draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Or we could do Elon, and the undercard could be Musk, Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
This is a great card, Dana. Let's get that hooked up. Let's get on the line. I got some line. We can get lines out tomorrow.
Yeah,
We'll only
Liberty's
do it
right.
if we drink Bud Light.
We weren't supposed to move NATO this close, or even try to move NATO this close to.
Not one more inch.
We just keep poking them.
Well,
it's like the slow crawl, right? Like, okay, we're gonna.
I think we're kind of in we're in a fast-paced walk, a mall walker's walk. One of my colleagues.
Speed walking towards Moscow.
Holy shit!
Walking towards.
Well, it begs the question though too. Why does NATO even still exist?
Is the Soviet Union? Did I miss something? Like that's not a thing anymore, right? Are we done with all this?
30-ish years ago, it was gone. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
Well,
why does it even exist?
I feel like they might be stealing our money.
You might be.
Why does the UN exist? What does the UN
Well,
do?
the UN exists to fucking prop up Hamas. Now they've shown their colors. We all know where they're at.
Well, Iran is on the UN Security Council.
Right.
So
aren't they in charge of the Human Rights Council now?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
That seems
That's why
valid.
they're calling for a
That seems
humanitarian
solid.
ceasefire.
That's a DEI hire if I've ever heard one.
Oh, wow. Nobody checked that resume, did they?
No. They plagiarized like a motherfucker.
But seriously, why is NATO a thing?
Yeah,
It shouldn't be.
It doesn't serve any purpose but to fucking pick wars. It sounds like
Launder money.
Mm-hmm.
So here is Zelensky getting his money.
Signed another $200 million drawdown from the Department of Defense for Ukraine, and that'll be coming quickly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me shoot that motherfucker, man.
That's the
God
ugliest
damn,
tie I've ever
dude.
seen.
Yeah.
And then, hold on.
That tie was terrible.
Should have threw it in that fire with him attached.
Needs to pass a supplemental funding for Ukraine before they break the holiday recess, before they give Putin the greatest Christmas gift they could possibly give him. And so because we've seen what happens when dictators don't pay the price for the damage and the death and the destruction they cause, and they keep going when no price is paid.
Hey, did somebody tell Joe Biden that the average age of the Ukraine fighter right now is 42 years old? And we have funded live fucking target practice, live range shots, and we've sharpened the fucking that their skills are sharpened. Their fucking fat has been fucking trimmed, and this training that we've given the Russians is something that we'll regret forever.
I have a question. If he's talking about you got to do something, you got to stop them or they'll keep going, then why have we taken 75 plus attacks by Iranian proxy groups on American and coalition forces since October 7th, and we've done jack? We hit like a weapons depot once. We just sit here and take it. Why are we defending Ukraine to the last inch and we're letting our boys just take missiles? This is fucked because we're afraid to make Iran angry. Then we've already lost.
Okay. Liberty says that old dude ain't running for president again unless it's to pardon his loving son. I'm not loving son, I think is what he said. Otherwise, Newsom is our next president. I've been saying that for a year. I bet I'll be right.
I think
you're not going to hear a lot of argument from me. I think that it's very likely that Donald Trump and Joe Biden, neither one are on the ticket for the presidency. I just don't think it's going to happen realistically.
Every election is more of a farce. This might be the last one.
So I do have like a question to pose to you guys though, that I'm curious about. I don't want, you guys know, I don't want Donald Trump to be the nominee. I think that Donald Trump served his purpose and that he was good in the position and the time that he was in, but he no longer serves that same purpose for us. He's not what we need right now. You guys know that. But I was posed with the question today, okay, would you vote for Ron DeSantis if he won? Would you vote for, like, I don't know that I could vote for Nikki Haley if she was the nominee for the Republicans. I think I would vote my entire down ticket, but I do not think that I could vote for Nikki Haley.
No, but she ain't gonna win. Hey, can I play something that's really funny really quick?
Yeah.
And something that I really miss?
Okay.
Thank you.
Hang on,
What I think was probably one of the greatest speeches of world leaders given. It's got to be up there with like Churchill, Gettysburg Address. Anyway, for real though, it was my favorite speech I've ever seen a president give. It was the night the United States killed the leader of ISIS. Trump comes out of the Situation Room at like midnight in the White House, and he walks down that fucking tunnel like and gives a press conference, like he's doing a post-game NBA guy press conference. He walks in front of the entire world at midnight and just goes, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead. He died like a dog. That's all here, dude. I didn't change one word of that. That's what he opened with. And then he did 40 minutes. The speech is 40 minutes. For no reason. It wasn't a prepared speech. He freestyled 40 straight.
40 straight.
Not even a speech, just mean shit talk for 40. The meanest shit talk you've ever heard in front of the whole world. Abu. We could hear him crying. I said, Abu, don't cry. Let me tell you something. Abu cried. He cried quite a bit. I wouldn't have cried. Cry baby Baghdadi. That's what we were all calling it. Look, I love everything about that speech. I love it. I love thinking about Trump in the Situation Room, surrounded by generals watching.
Thank you. That is one of the funniest impressions. But see, that's the kind of Trump. That's what makes Trump who he is. Biden is not leading this country. I don't know who is. Obama, maybe. I'm sure Rudy knows.
But Trump is not there anymore either. And here's why.
Nah, he's lost a step.
Yeah, look at this.
My latest series called the Mugshot Edition. I wonder where that came from. The Mugshot Edition. 47 all-new stunning cards, and here is the best part. I'm doing two important things for my Trump collectors. For the first time, we're creating a real physical Trump card. Purchase 47 digital cards and we'll mail you a beautiful trading card. It is an authentic piece of the suit I wore when I took that now famous mugshot, and it was a great suit, believe me, a really good suit. It's all cut up and you're gonna get a piece of it. I'll be autographing some of them. A true collector's item. This is something to give to your family, to your kids and your grandchildren. With the purchase of 47 of the Trump digital trading cards, you will also be invited to join me for a gala dinner at my beautiful Mar-a-Lago, my home in Florida. You've perhaps heard of it. It's become a pretty famous place. We just had our first dinner for my collectors, and we had a lot of fun together. That was a great evening. That was a fantastic evening. Some people call these cards pop art or modern art. I wish I looked as good as I do on those cards. That I can tell you. They give me muscles where, believe me, I don't have them. I wanted to keep my Trump digital trading cards at the same price, $99 each. So go to collecttrumpcards.com. It's really easy to buy. They sold out incredibly fast the last time, and I think the mugshot edition will sell out even faster.
For a digital
so don't miss out. Go to collecttrumpcards.com. Go right now and collect your own exclusive piece of American history, and we'll all have fun together. Have a good life.
Go good with my other NFTs.
Wow, that's fucking 2 minutes of our life we'll never get back. He must really be in deep in his fucking attorney fees.
$99.
You say you gotta buy like 47 of them?
Buy 47 and you get a physical card with a chunk of his jacket that he was wearing when he got arrested.
It's a very good
Dude, if my grandparents were still alive, like they would buy that for sure. If Reagan would have done that, they'd have owned all of them twice.
Okay.
He spoke for 2 minutes. I'm not sure what the hell I get.
You get a
Other than
digital-
screwed.
You get a Trump meme for $90.
Right. Newsom will be horrible, but women will vote for him because he's handsome and a great liar.
I really worry about that he's gonna car dealer his way all the way to the White House.
White women are ruining this world, and they'll
They-
vote for him in droves.
Yeah.
Trump
Why you
can't
have to
win, but
nominate
he'll
DeSantis?
spoil it for Nikki. I prefer DeSantis, but Nikki's okay for me. Only Nikki or Newsom can win, sadly.
Whoa.
As long, I don't know if I can go with you there on that one, Liberty.
You think Trump can win?
No, absolutely not. But I think that DeSantis could win if Trump was pulled out of the race. I've decided what I want.
Do you think if Trump gets in there, do you think he loses
Yes.
to whoever?
Biden?
Yes.
I could beat Biden.
No.
I think this country.
I don't know. I don't
Trump
know any
can.
Biden's. I don't know anybody that would vote for
Here's
Biden.
why Trump doesn't win. It's not because Biden gets the votes. It's because people stay home. They
I
will
think a
not
lot
vote.
more Democrats would stay home.
No. The Democrats will go vote. They will vote. They will vote no matter what.
The
It's
soldier
the
ones will.
Republicans and those independents, like that middle of those people whose pocketbooks are hurting right now, but the me's of the world, right?
Mhm.
I'm gonna go vote for Donald Trump if he's the nominee, because I know that this country cannot take another 4 years of whoever is pulling the strings on Joe Biden.
Yeah.
We can't do that anymore.
No.
My
Trump-
druthers at this point, like what I really want to see, and I kind of felt like we were seeing it be teed up at the last debate, is a DeSantis Ramaswamy ticket. I would fucking love to see the two of them team up together,
I'd be okay with that.
because you get kind of the best of both worlds. The uniparty, but then that little fucking fire in your belly where he's like, no, we're not going to do that. Somebody that'll actually push back versus like a Kamala Harris who talks about the passage of time.
DeSantis is the only viable candidate in this whole thing, because Trump, yeah, sure, I'd vote for Trump for a third time. That's fine. Trump's not going to pull any independents, maybe a percentage or two. He won't pull any of them. Every Democrat will line up to vote against Trump, just like they did before. Independents probably
spite
just
of,
kind
no
of
matter
stay
what.
home. And there's not
Or
anyone.
JFK pulls some votes, and Cornel West. RFK, sorry, yeah. Or RFK pulls some votes.
RFK is, there's still a lot to be determined there as far as who he actually pulls votes from. But
Yeah. But maybe he pulls some independents.
Trump can't win. The Republican can't win without independents. That it's just that simple. It's that simple. You can outweigh the wine mom crazed white woman vote with the independents, but Trump lost the independents. So, and Hillary didn't get the independents either. That's kind of the other thing that everybody kind of forgets, is that Hillary was so hated that Donald Trump was like, I don't like either of these things to eat, but I gotta survive. So I'll eat the less shitty pile of shit. Trump can't do that. There's not going to be any debates either. Let's just kind of wrap our heads around that. Like, there won't be a Trump Biden debate where he gets to like let Joe Biden look retarded or like the stroke victim he is. Those aren't going to happen. And he already said that he fell for that trap already by not doing these Republican debates.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only person that can win this is Ron DeSantis, and he can win in crushing fashion. But for some reason, all the polling numbers are going the other direction. They're going in the direction of Trump, and I don't.
He had a good debate, I thought.
Ron DeSantis,
yeah,
he has the record
His debate
too.
with Newsom was really good too.
I think that Trump will pull a lot of votes that people aren't expecting this time, because just off of pure pocketbooks. And I think it'll be demographics that they're not expecting.
Okay, so I'll say the thing out loud that most people don't want to say. It would be great if the Republican candidate got the black vote. It's not needed. If you get independents, Republicans, and most of women, you win in a crushing fashion. The biggest landslide victory ever in presidential history is Ronald Reagan in 84.
He didn't get Minnesota, and I'm sitting here.
He also didn't get the black vote, but he got everything else. So like, just demographically, the black population in America has never grown. It hasn't
So
grown
you're
in the
never
last
going to
60
get
or
the
70
woman.
years.
We're not getting the woman vote this time.
Not with
because
Trump.
abortion's going to be fucking out there.
You're not going to get it with Trump. You'll get it with DeSantis. You can possibly get it with
Is he going to
DeSantis.
falter on the abortion? Is he going to say, well, now I think abortion should be all the way up?
That's why Nikki
till birth.
Haley is rising right now.
Yes, because
Nikki
she
Haley's
does.
willing to get up there and compromise her fucking morals and say,
but we don't know what her morals
guys.
are. She's compromising Republicans' morals. We don't know what hers are. Well, I'll tell you what hers are. She's down with abortion.
Yeah,
she said it.
She's desperate to get numbers. That's what she's desperate to get. And so you also have to remember too, when you're doing these primaries, even if you can't win, like Vivek knows he can't win. He knows he's not going to be the nominee, but he has to try to get enough power and enough percentage that he matters. And he has to get enough money that he matters. That's the thing, one of the knocks on DeSantis.
But he had enough money in his bank account to matter.
No, what I mean is you have to get enough campaign money that you become viable for courtship and things of that nature. But one of the knocks on DeSantis is that he hasn't gone after the others. Well, if you go after the others, you section them off and their supporters, whatever they are. I'm not sure who supports Nikki Haley necessarily, but if you alienate them, then you lose them in the general, or you lose them. If she drops out tomorrow, well, they're not going to go and cast a ballot in Iowa for DeSantis. Maybe they just vote it in spite for Vivek or whoever the hell else is left. Well, probably not Chris Christie, but they might. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you have to gather all of these things together. So, when you're leading a state, you can be very hard line one way. But when you go federal and you're trying to become the leader of the entire country, you kind of have to, water down your message. So once DeSantis gets more, if he ever does get more traction as far as polling and some power in that direction, he will and should water down his abortion message and say that it's about the states. And
I was
it's a
just
states
going to say
issue.
that.
Yeah,
that's right. Because you know who's really good at that is Democrats, and going up there and just saying what they want to hear to win. They're good at winning, and we are not good at winning.
That's a
we
fact.
lose a lot.
That's like this whole thing today where everybody got pissed off because Dana White was saying, people should drink Bud Light or this or that. And it's like everyone on the conservative movement is saying that, oh my God, all it takes is spending money on the UFC for people to start drinking. But like, that's a fucking win.
Yes.
That's
we
a huge
already
win.
won.
Yes.
But Bud Light came back. They fired that fucking bitch, and they came back to who we are and who they
spent
are.
$100 million for the opportunity to put their logo in an octagon. They went I don't know that you could go more opposite than that lady boy than the UFC. And now all of these supposed conservatives are like, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. Know when you've got a victory and how to win and run with it.
Accept it. Put your hands up and let's go get another.
Conservatives have lost for so long they don't even know when they win.
They don't even know what it looks like.
Exactly.
You don't want to bankrupt Budweiser. They're our fucking one of our biggest donors. We just wanted to tell them to listen to us.
And it worked.
It worked. We won.
It's like the first time it ever worked, and now they're pissed that it worked.
Yeah, goddamn.
I can't believe it worked. How dare they? Like, okay, if there's no victory there's no light at the end of the tunnel for these companies, then what was it all for?
Yeah, no.
Do you think they're going to go bankrupt? They're not going to go bankrupt.
If at the beginning of that boycott, we would have wanted an outcome, this is it. This is the outcome. We would have sat down and said, "This is what we want."
Yes.
Trump card.
Tax.
I want the Trump card.
I would buy the suit physical card for $50. A Trump card thing is real.
Yes, and you know what? I bet people have those cards already with the suit on them because they paid so much fucking money.
Yep.
Gavin
Yep.
Newsom
They had to
looks
buy
like
an external hard drive for the amount of fucking Trump NFTs they have.
For whatever reason, DeSantis can't get traction. Smart, fast Republicans aren't liked. I don't know why. I think Ted Cruz is great, but no one seems to like him. Too smart. DeSantis was amazing at that last debate. He was really good at both of them. The Newsom debate and the GOP debate. I was very impressed.
The Newsom debate is a fucking... It's a clown show.
Yeah. Women would vote for Nikki. Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Yeah, no, you're
voting
right.
doesn't matter if voting in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Arizona isn't fixed. Damn right. Chris.
I'll make the point that I made some time ago on one of the Liberty happy hours with DeSantis, and that is when it comes to winning an election, any candidate can sit there and talk and say their platforms and do these things and whatnot. But when it comes time to get kind of down in the dirty and do the dirty things it takes to win an election, DeSantis has done those, whether it's ballot harvesting, whether it's all the things that the Republicans talk about that the Democrats do and they want to outlaw and they want to ban. Well, they're not outlawed or they're not banned yet. And DeSantis said, you know what? I'll play your little game and I'll do it better.
You have to.
Yeah, he took a state that was purple at best and made it almost as red as Oklahoma. Like, Florida was never in question for presidential. He took a less than 1% victory as governor and turned it into a 20-point victory. That is insane to do that. Insane.
With a largely ethnic diverse state.
Yeah, I mean, he put counties into question that were locked.
He won Dade County. How did DeSantis win Dade County?
By going hard line against the things on social issues. He went hard line on social issues and focused on the economy and
it
won.
Was really common sense. He
really
runs a common sense campaign.
But it's all the things that everyone has said for the last 30 years. If you run on social issues as a conservative or Republican, you're going to lose. And he just said, I don't believe you and I'm going to do it. And he went into it whole hog and he destroyed. It was never in question for him as governor. And it was never in question that it was going for Trump. Unreal. Not enough is made of that nationally. If the Republican Party were smart and actually run well, they would be throwing everything they could behind DeSantis to he's gotten better in these debates. The first debate, it was like he was like a fish out of water. It's almost like he didn't know kind of even what to do.
A lot of people, I think, Rudy, look like that when you're standing next to like a Vivek, who is just naturally very talented at debating.
Sure.
Like Ben Shapiro's the same way.
But that's who he was. He was in between Vivek and Haley in this last one. And
he just got looked over.
Well,
but no, the last
he
one
did good. In this last one, he did really good.
He was like kind of weird. I wish he would be a little bit more commanding. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He does. It's like he doesn't have that. It doesn't matter because he's excellent with policy. And so I don't look at this, but a lot of people will. He doesn't have that it factor. I don't know.
I don't want him to have the it factor, though. He's the president.
But that's what gets votes sometimes. Like, that's how Trump won.
You're not wrong there, especially when it came to Trump, the stand-up comic standing next to Hillary, the robot.
Yes, that was
brutal. It was great.
That was hard. But Vivek and Haley look kind of like that.
I still don't understand why Haley is even polling at all. I really don't.
She's up there.
But how does she look in yoga pants? Until we know how she looks in yoga pants, how can I possibly have an actual opinion on her?
Okay, I really wish Eric hadn't left because I really wanted to talk about this with him, but I'll talk
asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be doled out easily to anyone, especially white people. Even Mom would agree with me on that.
Oh God.
So that's the new Barack Obama, Michelle Obama movie
Yuck.
that they
Is that about them?
produced.
Oh, they produced it. Is it?
Yeah.
Which one was Barack? Which one was Michelle in that scene?
Big Mike?
I think Leave the World Behind or something like that. But I've always like considered Barack Obama to be one of the most racially divisive presidents that in my lifetime, certainly, that we've ever had. And for him to sign on and make this movie and that line to even have made it through the final cut is disgusting to me. Don't trust
intentional,
white
right?
people when the world falls apart.
A little intentional, huh?
Yeah.
What color was his VP?
So there's already like the foreshadowing and all of that stuff, and then the veiled messaging. It happened in more than one time in the movie, but this is the part that's gone viral. It's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating to constantly be vilified. And imagine if I went and made a movie right now and said, Rudy, when the world falls apart, don't trust anyone, especially the Black people. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, what would have happened?
Well, we might have gotten famous for all
For
the
5
wrong
minutes.
reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
There would have been
Gone
like me, you, David Duke. Like that
Yeah.
would have been it. Like somehow we would have some photo would have surfaced of us and David Duke and like a
PP tape.
Something
Who's
but,
peeing on who?
but you have to also look at who is this film for?
Well,
Like,
Eric watched it.
Oh.
And he didn't know. That's why I wanted him to be here for this. So now I'm going to go watch it. This weekend, I'm going to lose moments of my life by watching this film.
You're a saint.
And then I'm going to give you guys
Lady
an
Ballers.
honest review.
There you go.
Tex says, I'm trusting Heather for great freedom tools if the world falls apart. Yes, if you're tuning in and you don't know, I am an affiliate partner with Palmetto State Armory. You can go to my Twitter page. The link in my bio has an affiliate link to Palmetto State Armory. Fantastic deals right now going on. The AR 15 Days of Christmas. And
ooh, exciting.
Yes,
nice.
Saber.
A saber. Did you buy a saber?
I acquired this
At
in Indiana. Like also, if you know, you know.
Oh, that's badass. I didn't even get a sticker. You had all those stickers there?
Yeah.
You just have to show up.
Yep. We've
gotta
got
be there,
some
buddy.
FPC ones. I have a
Do
very
you get a grad? Do you have a fairy godmother?
She is the fairy godmother.
Gunmother, sorry.
fairy gunmother. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a
I've
fairy
convinced her
godmother?
that 5.7 is the future. Well, the
It
pistol
really,
helped.
honestly. So, Rudy, did you know they're coming out with a compact 5.7?
I didn't actually know that. No. But
They are.
It makes sense.
I don't know if it's been formally announced. I think that's coming out at SHOT Show, maybe.
What you
but
just did?
It's been formally announced now.
It's been formally announced now.
It's gonna be my carry weapon. Like, I've decided that's how much I love the 5.7. It is like the best. I love my dagger, but I really love my rock. Like a lot.
Do you know how should we even keep talking about this? And feel free to not, but do you know how compact the compact is?
It's, from what I have seen, it's compact. It's
Okay.
not micro, but it is.
Well, you can't go micro with the 5.7 round.
Right.
It will, yeah.
So
I'll fight with everyone on Twitter later about the 5.7 round. Don't worry.
Okay, we're gonna do two truths and a lie. So, to anybody new who is tuning in, Two Truths and a Lie is a segment that I do in every episode where I tell two stories that are true and one story that is a lie. And you have to determine which story is the lie. You cannot cheat. This is my mom finger that I get out at the kids. No cheating, no Googling, no looking it up. You have to guess the answer without looking it up. So, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Two truths and a lie. Oh, and then you put it in the chat. And then once like some period of time, Chris is never at home anymore when we record Tuesday nights. So we don't have our little soundboard for the Jeopardy music. But okay. A shopper landed in jail after an off-duty police officer saw him popping grapes in his mouth as he walked through a produce section of a supermarket. "They're taking me for eating grapes," he yelled as he was taken in handcuffs from a local grocery store in the Liberty section of Miami. He was charged Saturday with petty theft and resisting arrest without violence. After spending the night in jail, he was released on his promise to appear for a court date. He is a plumber. He said he had broken open a $1.65 package of grapes and plucked a couple in his mouth. Said he shopped with his wife and his stepson. The off-duty Miami police officer, who moonlights as a security guard at the store, said that he would have to pay at once. He was given a chance to pay for the grapes and he refused. Smith said, "I had no alternative." That is story number one. Story number two. In Salinas, California, a researcher says that he has developed a formula using bacteria and grain wastes, such as wheat stalks and rice hulls, that can be used to make a range of products from lightweight armor to pasta. He says he and an associate accidentally stumbled on the formula nearly 2 years ago while trying to develop a mixture to dissolve explosive materials. The experiment flopped, but the men say they came up with something better: bulletproof wheat. Rogers said the compound in liquid form might also turn grain waste into a tasty noodle, a development he said could double food production in developing nations. That is story number two. Story number three. In a visionary move to address traffic congestion and promote eco-friendly transportation, San Diego city officials have announced an ambitious project to create an extensive network of underground bicycle highways. The proposal, dubbed Subterra Cycle, aims to revolutionize urban commuting by providing cyclists with dedicated underground pathways throughout the city. According to city planners, the underground bicycle highways will run parallel to existing subway lines, utilizing those spaces beneath the city streets. The concept includes well-lit, ventilated tunnels equipped with state-of-the-art safety features, making it a comfortable and secure environment for cyclists. Which story is the lie?
I thought it was two lies and a truth.
No, it's two truths
Two
and one
truths and a
lie.
lie. What was the second headline? Give me the second headline.
Bulletproof wheat.
That sounds like a great beer from the fine folks at Anheuser-Busch.
Actually would be a really good beer name. All right, Tex says number two is the lie.
That's where I'm leaning.
3.
Rudy says 3. No underground bicycle roadways in San Diego.
It's 2 on the nose.
Utilizing the existing subway infrastructure.
You're going to cause earthquakes. You can't do it. Or more earthquakes.
What's going on? Oh, shit. I should have had the Rumble up.
Do we have people? Nobody's on Rumble.
How would you know?
There says, I say it makes me want to dance. So
You have no idea what that is.
there's 7 watching.
Hell yeah.
All right, what you got?
I said
Christopher.
2. I already said
2.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know what we were waiting on. That's why I was checking Rumble. I was like, oh, is she waiting on
Nope,
Rumble?
that's fine. Nothing on Twitter. The lie
She beat me. I can see it in her face.
is number 3.
Oh, nice.
Undefeated. I am still undefeated. Even on camera, undefeated.
Oh man. Okay.
She hates it
was
when I'm
good.
right.
I hate it when anybody gets it right. I really love it when everyone gets it wrong. That's my favorite.
All right,
All right, Rudy,
with
thank you
somebody
for
on
joining
Twitter
us.
and I
Real
missed
quick,
it.
tell everybody where they can follow you on Twitter.
At Toxic American or Rudy with a Permit. Also on YouTube, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you're not following Rudy, what are you doing with your life? You probably don't eat meat, and you wouldn't like it anyways.
And you don't like comedy because I've started that stuff. So anyway, thanks for
All
having
right.
me.